Welcome back to another episode of Real Well Radio. I'm here with Frank Veneziale of FTV Fitness.
Yes, mouthful.
Thought I was going to get that word wrong 100%. I know Frank from my gym. A couple months ago, I had some ideas running through my head, thinking about, how can I incorporate, some kind of contest or some kind of giveaway with the gym. And I stumbled across one of his cards, got to talking to him. Love the story, love the mission. I'm big on that stuff, and just kind of give us a breakdown to begin before we really get into the nuts and bolts of it. I don't know, anywhere from like 18 years old, whatever, to where we are today.
Yeah, and if I'm boring you, stop me.
You won't.
I'm not sensitive. Basically got my first set of old school weights in like 8th grade. I started lifting 3 times a week in the basement. My parents were nice enough to make the basement like a home gym, which I wouldn't. My house is a wreck now. I can't. It's nice of them to just let me take over the basement. But yeah, and then high school I played hockey, ice hockey growing up. But I was just a skinny kid until I got to high school. So my obsession was just get big, get big, get big. You know what I mean? Like shitty weight gainers. Can we curse, by the way, on here?
Absolutely.
All right, yeah. So some shitty weight gainers, just eating anything, any calories I can get my hands on. I wasn't even working out towards my hockey goals, which looking back was so dumb. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, just get big at all costs. Go to college, stop playing ice hockey. Because where we were, you get a short house in the summer. We drank, I'm talking 90 straight days over the summer. How leading up to Westchester ice hockey tryouts, it's just irresponsible. Didn't make the team I wanted to. I quit hockey. Continued working out like 5-6 days a week, but my eating stayed the same. I always said you can eat whatever you want as long as I work out, and that caught up with me fast, man. So I was spending hours at the gym every week, and I didn't look like I worked out.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I can relate.
It was eating like endless bowls of fruit because it was all cafeteria food, like chicken wraps. It was terrible. I can't imagine the inflammation. So stopped playing ice hockey, still worked out, but had to figure out what the hell was going on. I was eating my brown rice. I was eating my plain pasta. Thought everything was healthy. Bananas at night. I listened to Ben Green. Do you know what Ben Greenfield is?
Yes. He's over toes.
No, he's
That's a
different.
guy.
Yeah.
But he was, okay. Good.
I think that guy's name's Ben too, though, by the way. But Ben Greenfield, listened to him on a Rogan pod, and it literally changed my health and fitness life. I didn't even know what fasting was till him. I got into like keto from him, very low carb. That's not sustainable, at least for me. I don't recommend that to everyone. It's good to experiment and challenge yourself for a little bit of time. But Ben Greenfield, I pretty much got on his protocol, all his like biohacks and stuff like that. And that changed the whole trajectory. It changed the way I started eating, feeling, meal timing, cold showers. Now I have a crazy morning routine, as you see on my social media accounts. But yeah, that's kind of where I got to today. I always kind of did this stuff behind the scenes, and then last April, I announced myself as a health coach. I stopped being basically a little pussy. You know what I mean? I tell everyone now, like, just stop caring what people think. I wasn't comfortable on camera, not even in pictures, you know what I mean?
Right.
And now I'm doing, I try to put up as much social media content as I can. That it can be overwhelming. I try doing a post and a reel every single day. On top of my full-time job, I'm in law enforcement, full disclosure. I hate it. I want to get out. I want to make health and fitness my full-time thing. I got a lot of clients right now. So that's my goal. That's how I got here. I was the skinny kid. I somehow became the chubby kid despite working out all the time. Stopped playing ice hockey. And now it's just, I'm obsessed. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, you do a really good job of putting social content out. It's hard to even consume everything that you put out. I try to, go back and look at stuff to get ready for this. So you have a vicious morning routine. Take us through that, and just each thing, like, give us a little tidbit of what that does for you, the positive.
Yeah, so it used to be longer. My son's almost 2 now. I can't be spending an hour to an hour and a half downstairs while the wife, you know what I mean?
Right.
I'm already up. I try getting up an hour before the wife and the kid to do my thing. Like you said, get the mind right. So I wake up, I tongue scrape, I oil pull. Oil pulling.
Yeah, what's that?
So it's become really popular. You can't even get this brand new Guru Nanda anymore because how like viral it went on TikTok. I was doing this way before TikTok, by the way. Let the record show. But yeah, so oil pulling. So when you wake up, oil pull. Bacteria and everything builds up in your mouth when you're sleeping. So if you wake up and you drink a sip of water, all that bacteria you're swallowing it. That can lead to inflammation, especially in the gums, etc. So oil pulling, I switch that around. I do 15 minutes. You can do like 2 to 5 minutes.
It's like a mouthwash.
Yeah, like coconut oil.
Huh.
It's like a blend. And I'm telling you, on mornings that like I can't do it, like say I'm on vacation and I didn't bring my oil pulling stuff, my mouth feels like disgusting compared to after oil
Really?
pulling. Try it one time. It's unbelievable. It's like $15 on Amazon. There's a bunch of good brands. Always check the ingredients. I might preach that a lot during this. I'm an ingredients guy. So yeah, I do that in front of the red light. Now I have a red light from Cozy, by the way. I really recommend Cozy Red Light. Have had no issues with that for like 4 or 5 years now. I've had that device. Red light therapy. Have you ever experienced anything?
I've heard about it. I've never done it.
It's great for the skin. Again, inflammation decreases inflammation in your cells. But if like wrinkles, aging, like it's great for that and expose as much skin as possible. So I wake up, I do that. I sit in front of that. Full disclosure, naked. You want to expose as much skin as possible. So that's just part one. Go brush my teeth. I head downstairs. I have like a home gym. So I got a decent amount of equipment. I used to do a whole stretch routine, like a half-hour stretching, because I do have herniated discs. So I think we related to that. You have a bad back too, correct?
Yeah, I fractured my back this past summer.
Yeah, I didn't fracture my back, but I do have herniated discs, and I used to wear a back brace to work. And also, I couldn't do barbell curls without a lifting belt. I healed that with this morning routine and eating, which is pretty crazy, man. Not sitting during long periods of time. I mean, just being active. That's big. But the stretching was huge. If you have back pain, I mean, 10 minutes a day, first thing in the morning, I can't recommend it enough. I have a pull-up bar that hangs from my garage doorway, dead hangs. It's one of my favorite. You don't even have to hang. You put your feet on the ground if you're not comfortable hanging. But now back to my morning routine, I get right in the cold plunge. It'll be 3 minutes I do a cold plunge. I also put out on my social media how to do the cheapest cold plunge you can get. I did everything for $800. Home Depot freezer chest, and it's been the greatest investment. I used to just do cold showers, but in the summertime, the water just doesn't get as cold as you need to get for the benefits. So I do the cold plunge, and I dread it every morning. Full disclosure, it's not fun. You know what I mean?
No.
But it is the greatest feeling afterwards. You can't describe it. I just saw Huberman put out yesterday like the dopamine. There's no like dopamine replacement for a cold plunge. It's insane. I can back that up because you feel insane. So after that, I do my brief stretching. I got my morning routine down to like 40, 45 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
It used to be an hour to an hour and 20, but that's it. Do some push-ups, jumping jacks, air squats to warm up the body because you're going to be shivering after the cold plunge
Air
for a while.
squats, just body weight squats.
Body weight squats, yeah. And then I'm basically ready to go. I have a ton of energy, and like I said, if I go on vacation and it's a lot harder to do my morning routine, my body just feels so much tighter. I feel like shit almost. You know what I mean?
100%. And I'm almost scared to like get myself to the point where I'm doing like all of those things and have to do all those things. Because I do things, and when I don't do them, I feel like shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll do the breathing exercises, I'll do the morning meditation. You see me stretching in the gym. Like I'm a vicious stretcher, and that was because I tore labrum multiple times in my shoulders and had to just start doing yoga. And now my body feels horrible when I don't do it. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I can relate to that because I'm obsessed. You know, I'm a creature of habit. I'm disciplined. And like you said, if I can't miss that morning routine, no matter what's going on, I can't miss. You know what I mean?
So I'm scared to put something together that's going to take me that long to have that kind of, but it's all fucking awesome stuff, bro. I mean, to be able to be disciplined. And I do the same thing. I try to get up an hour, 2 hours before everybody else is up, except for my wife. She leaves super early in the morning, so she's out of the house during the week. But it's just great to have that time to yourself.
100%.
Get the mind right.
To piggyback off that, what, like say a weekend, my wife will be like, sleep in till 6, 7, do your morning routine. Like I got Frankie, that's our son. Um, it's so different doing my whole morning routine, hearing those two, hearing this dude run around, he's crying sometimes. Rather like the mental aspect of being by yourself, complete quiet. You know what I mean?
Dark. I mean, I'll have a little light on the corner of my
Correct.
fireplace. Turn on the comm app to do it. And if I hear somebody moving, I'm like, ah!
Exactly. You nailed it. So I can definitely relate to that. There's no replacing that.
What are some things? Do you do some meditation, or is it all like basically a mind over matter thing with you?
I got to get better with the meditation stuff. I used to sauna it. I have a sauna tent at home because over
How's
COVID,
that compared to
there's no replacement for 180-degree sauna like at the gym.
How hot does the one get you have?
150 it says.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's 150. You sweat. You're gonna sweat in there. I get in like
takes longer.
Correct.
Yeah.
And if you do a post workout, you sweat a lot more. Obviously, like I used to wake up. This is over COVID. Because I was going through a sauna withdrawal, man. You know what I mean?
Same.
Needed that. So I bought the sauna tent. You sit all the way inside it. That used to be the first thing I did. Where was I going with that though? I used to do the breathe. I would have the apps. I would do the meditation in the sauna. It was much easier for me to do that rather than my morning routine. Now it's like I got to go bang, bang, bang.
Yeah,
I'm trying to get 40 minutes done. You know what I mean?
Started to get it.
I got to get better with that though. I can easily do it in front of the red light. I used to be good with putting my phone away, but now with the FTV fitness stuff, like my whole business is basically my phone.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I started with social media. I'm posting free content every day. All my clients and everything, like everything's my phone. So that's one downside of it. I got to get better with the breathing and meditation because my mind is constant. I deal with anxiety, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. My mind is always racing. The cold plunge, believe it or not, is good for the breathing and everything. That's all control your breath. Wim Hof and everything like that.
Right.
So I would love to incorporate more of that. I know I have to be better with that.
It's good stuff, especially as you get older and dealing with more things. You're doing two things. You have a full-time job, and you're also trying to grow a business. So, just as far as getting your mind right in order to move forward with the day and tackle with any task that you need to do.
And all the successful people just worry about.
Right.
You know what I mean? What mental clarity, like, and along those lines, we just did our 4th 5-day fast.
Yes.
I'm so much more calm still, so much more patient. Because like I said, I'm always go. But when you're not eating for 5 days, like you just need to pass the time by. So like you're just so much more calm. You're not, when I'm driving, I'm not like, what is this asshole doing? Let's go. Like, don't you want to go where you want to, you know what I mean? It's like, you're just level-headed, calm. I used to be like, the nicotine gum I got, like, I'm ready to go, piece after piece. I've cut that back dramatically. Like, it's just much more mellow after the 5 day. I hope it continues because eventually, everyone goes back into their ways. You know what I mean?
Right.
Really trying to work on that, though. And the breathing exercises I got to get better with, especially in front of the red light. But like I said, I wake up, my phone, there's a million notifications.
Yeah, no, same. And I use the Calm app, and I use primarily Jay Shetty's morning meditation. If you know who he is, Think Like a Monk. It's a great book. And he puts great content out. Where it was like, I was going to talk about how I've been intermittent fasting forever, like years. A lot of days I'll only eat, not only, but I won't start eating until like 6. But my main problem, I could do great all day, but because of that, I get hungry at night. So like, I know like a big thing is always don't eat hours before bed. If I try to go, and I know it's discipline stuff, and I know it's don't be a pussy and like all that stuff, but like that's my main. And like you were saying earlier, like you go to the gym all the time and you feel like obviously like we look better or you look better before and I look better now than people that don't go to the gym and stuff, and you don't have much body fat and you're healthier and all that stuff. But just I feel like when I wake up when I'm eating late and it's constant, like. And I do MyFitnessPal and I'm macros, all that stuff. But even eating that late, like I still feel like shit. And it's usually the very latest one is like going to be some type of heavy carb, you know what I'm saying, just to fill myself up. And it just sucks. So do you have any ideas besides suck it the fuck up?
I will say this. When it comes to intermittent fasting, my biggest recommendation, you hit it, is to stop eating within 2 to 3 hours of bed. There's science behind it. Heavier carb meals at dinner time will help with sleep. So like I do majority of my carbs at dinner. This is an Oura ring. I wear it as my wedding ring. The wife gave permission at the time. It's like a $300 ring, but it tracks everything: HRV, resting heart rate, sleep, etc.
So that does everything like a Fitbit would?
Yeah, it's
steps?
Everything, man.
Wow.
Steps. You can't really work out with it because you can't grip a barbell.
Yeah, it's pretty thick.
You can log your workouts in the app and everything. You ever hear of the Whoop strap?
Yeah.
So it tracks just like that, but it's a ring. Whoop is cooler because it tracks your workouts too. I have an Apple Watch. But this, I mean, no matter what I eat closer to bed, like on nights that I have desserts, so this was the biggest deterrent when it came to alcohol for me. I mean, everyone knows you drink, you feel like shit the next day. It sucks. When you see like your stats,
like your sleep and stuff.
Oh my god, your resting heart rate is through the roof. Your HRV is a great measure to track, by the way. It's your heart rate variability. It's the heartbeats in between each heartbeat. It's a great sense of where your nervous system is. So if it's really overworked, your HRV is going to be low. You shouldn't be pushing it that day. I know when I'm sick, you know what I mean? Which, by the way, I never got sick before my son was born. It's insane. I thought I was like, oh, I don't get sick. How are these people always sick? You know what I mean? I'm healthy. I'm in shape. One kid, oh my God, it's every other week there's a new sickness.
Is he doing daycare and stuff? Or?
He goes to daycare. I mean, it's nonstop with that. But yeah, the Oura ring. But if I eat anything close to bed, it can be healthy, best meal. Numbers are dramatically lower than if I just stopped eating post-dinner. So that's my biggest recommendation. I mean, you hear it all the time. Don't eat close to bed. Don't eat close. I mean, I have statistical proof that do you eat after dinner or do you just eat a late dinner?
So usually I'll break my fast with like a protein shake. That was the other thing. You had Premier Protein. Like that, I drink that all the time.
Get it out of the diet, man. Get that out.
Great. So yeah, it's usually like a protein shake around like 4 or 5. Then
4 or 5 in the morning or
at the afternoon.
So you fast all day till the afternoon?
Yeah, and I've been doing that for a long time. So that's like how I'm programmed. And then I'll have a dinner around 6, 7. You know, it's usually rice or cauliflower rice and a big protein. You know, either beef or chicken. I don't really mess with vegetables too much.
I don't either, for the record. They're great for you. I just don't. I'm
it messes
meat,
me
rice,
up.
and potatoes guy.
Yeah,
personally.
And then I'll have, you know, my wife makes fun of me all the time, but like my snack, like before I go to bed, usually is like some string cheese to get some more protein, grapes, and nuts.
Let me stop you there. Cut the grapes out before bed.
Really?
Yeah, they're probably. I would imagine you're eating. I mean, it's natural sugar, so it's not the same because it's going to have some fiber in it. Or you're going to jack those glucose levels up right before bed. And that's going to make sure insulin works.
We'll talk about what I'm doing. I'm all obvious. I think I'm doing the right stuff and I'm feeling good. And
well, you look. I mean, you're not.
I could probably right, but there's always, you know, you look yourself in the mirror and you never think where you're at is where you're at. I always think I'm
can improve. You can, everyone can improve, obviously. Whatever's going to work with your schedule is the most important thing because whatever's sustainable for you. You know what I mean? If that works for you, it works for you, and that keeps you going all day. I mean, that's impressive not to eat till 4 or 5 o'clock every single day.
I've been doing it for so long, and when I do eat lunch or breakfast, I'm sluggish. You know, like we'll have meetings here, and there'll be a ton of food. I'm like, I just don't want to do it because either I'm going to the gym later, or I'm going to do some work, I'm going to meet a client or whatever. I'm just going to feel like I need a nap. You know.
Well, protein should help with that.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people start their day off with a bagel, a carb. That is the exact result is what's going to happen when you start your day off with a bagel or something like that. You immediately spike your glucose levels. Insulin goes. That leads to energy crashes, cravings. Your stomach's going to be rumbling all day. That's why. That's why I preach break the fast with a protein. That solves that. You're going to feel more full, and you're not going to have energy crashes. I had one client. He would do oatmeal every morning. Oatmeal is so like the fitness guys on Instagram make fun of people that say oatmeal is bad for you. You know what I mean? There's bigger fish to fry. I wear continuous glucose monitor on the back of my arm. Do you know what that is?
No.
So it's like people that are diabetic have to track that.
Okay.
And if you don't have diabetes, it's like $1,000 a month. Like insurance doesn't cover it or nothing. So I paid out of pocket. It was like $300 through this app called Levels. They're gigantic now. But after every meal, I scanned and saw what the food did to my glucose levels. and I would have a giant bowl of oatmeal, instant oats, by the way, too. After dinner is like a carb refeed for me. Like I thought, like yeah, I need carbs. I want to get bigger. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, it shot my shit up like I had 2 bowls of ice cream.
Wow.
You can add like healthy fats to it and protein. Adding healthy fats, protein, and fiber to anything is going to lower the glucose levels. So anytime you eat a meal, the order that you should eat on your plate is veggies for fiber, protein, and carbs should always be the last thing you eat on your plate. That's going to control your glucose spikes, and it's also going to allow your body to better digest those carbs.
Quick question. I heard you say a couple times on social media you eat cooled white rice. Why?
Cooked, then cooled.
Right. But why would you cool it? What does that do to it?
So, and same with potatoes.
Mm-hmm.
It increases the resistant starch, which is much better on the gut, and also it lowers the glycemic index of it. So if I make white rice or a white or sweet potato right there, I eat it, my glucose levels are probably going to go to like 120, 130. If I cook a bunch of white rice, cook a bunch of potatoes, I let it cool, chop everything up, put it in the fridge. Next day or later on that day, I go and reheat it. The glucose levels are going to be around 115-ish, 110, much lower.
Very interesting.
So that's why I preach, when I'm clean bulking, white rice and white potatoes, sweet potatoes are my main source of carbs. So every
White
weekend.
Sweet potatoes?
White or sweet.
Okay.
Every weekend, it takes a couple hours to prep my carbs for the entire week. So, I mean, I'm busy. People are busy. You know what I mean? That's the majority of my clients, and that's what I preach to them. There's one female client who's in her 50s. She lost 10 pounds like a month with me. All her friends, like, there's just an old school minded thinking, especially with white rice. Everyone thinks, like, I used to eat brown rice every single day. White rice is actually healthier than brown rice. I never knew that until I got into all this, you know what I mean?
Right.
But she would tell her friends what she's eating, and she lost 10 pounds. And they're like, you're eating white rice and white potatoes? Like, what are you talking about? Like, who are you working with?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, that's mind-blowing to some people.
Right.
You know, like, don't eat oatmeal. That's mind-blowing to people. Don't just eat egg whites, eat the yolk. You know what I mean? That's where all the nutrients are. Like, there's just this old school minded thinking that people don't know, you know?
Yeah, and a lot of it's, very complicated. Like all the glucose stuff and all the monitors. And I mean, I like tracking stuff, but like to a point because I want to feel good, but I also don't want to overwhelm myself because I'm very busy, on top of trying to stay healthy and stay fit and give people the kind of service they deserve in my real estate business and that kind of thing.
That's where I try coming in. I try being the mediator between the Ben Greenfields, the Andrew Hubermans, the Rhonda Patricks, who your average Joe has no idea who those people are.
Right.
So I want to be that guy that you come to me and it's like I break it down for you. Like I don't need the cooked and cooled white rice. Like you don't need to know the science behind it, but just know like, hey, if my coach is saying cooked and cool it for the week, I mean, there's benefits there. I can eat my white rice. I can enjoy my potatoes. I don't have to go no carb to lose 10, 20 pounds,
Right.
Because a lot of people are so dramatic. They're like, I want a no carb diet. You know what I mean? Like I haven't had a carb in 2 weeks. It's like, great. You're probably like your body's using fat for energy, but are you going to go your entire life without eating carbs now?
It's not sustainable.
To lose weight and feel good? You don't have to do that. You know what I mean?
Let's talk a little bit about like your approach to clients. You get 2 new clients. One's, average, one's severely overweight. Do you attack each client specifically to what their needs are, or is there a one size fits all?
No, I wish it was. And ladies, I love you out there, but the guys are so much easier than the girls. The girls need I need to specifically have 3 different options for breakfast. I need to, you know what I mean? Guys, it's like you give them the work. It's like their workouts are done. They figure out the food. They're very simple.
I eat the same thing almost every single day.
I'm a robot, man. But I know people are not like that.
Yeah.
I mean, my wife's not like that. You know what I mean? Like I could have a piece of steak every single night for dinner.
Right.
My wife would want to kill herself. We gotta have chicken. We gotta have new recipes. So I'm along for the ride. There, but yeah, every client's gonna be different. They have access to me 24/7, but everyone gets different macros. So you brought up MyFitnessPal before. We have a premium account where I can look at everyone's logs. So if they're tracking, which I always recommend tracking, if you don't know where to start when it comes to weight loss or fat loss, MyFitnessPal is free. I mean, jog down. It doesn't even have to be an exact science. Just log your food and make tweaks from there. Like, if you do want to get into the nitty gritty, if you start weighing your food out, like, and you go into a slight calorie deficit, just eating less calories every week, like, you're going to lose weight. And that's not even counting prioritizing protein, watching the ingredients, aiming for whole foods over processed foods.
Real quick question. How accurate do you think the calories burned are on these?
I don't look at any of that. I did a
So
whole.
how do you know you're in a deficit?
I just would go by the calories that I'm eating.
Right, but how do you know what you burned?
Just do the math. Like, go a week. Say I'm eating 1,800 calories, and this is my weight at the end of this. At the end of this week, I want to lose 2 pounds. Subtract 200 calories from there.
Gotcha.
See what happens that week.
Right.
If you didn't lose a single pound, you're not in a deficit.
Mm-hmm.
I need to subtract more calories.
Do you think these are like within a couple hundred calories?
No, I actually did a post on it. It would take too long to pull up here. If we were like a fancy pod, we could pause the podcast. And I did a whole post on literally how inaccurate they were because there was a big study on it.
Yeah.
Apple was a big one that was off. I think Whoop was the most accurate when it came to calories burned. My biggest advice there is just daily light activity. Daily light movement is the key for fat loss. 10K steps is thrown around a lot, but one girl that did my free challenge one time, she said, I love your workouts. I get done pretty much I'm at 10,000 steps by like 8 a.m. She does morning workouts.
Mm-hmm.
I have my 10,000 steps in by 8 a.m. Like, this is great. And it's like, that's not how we should be looking at steps. You know what I mean? If you have 10,000 steps in by 8 a.m. and you finish the day with 11,000, 12,000 steps, that's not good. There's studies out there that show like the person who is light active all day is more healthier, burning more calories than the person who sits at a desk all day and crushes 1 hour workout.
Interesting.
Like, it's just, I preach NEAT activity, N-E-A-T, non-exercise activity. Basically, any activity that is not purposely working out. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So, like, mowing the lawn, going for a walk, like doing housework, you know what I mean? Doing dishes. Like,
so one of the things that mine tracks is trying to get 9 hours in a day of 250 steps within each hour.
That's perfect. That's a great way to
Okay.
look at it.
I always wondered why I was doing that, but I'm usually pretty close, but I don't always prioritize that, but that makes sense, you know, because a lot of times I'll be in front of a computer and then I'll end up going to the gym at some point and I'll have everything done. I mean, you probably see me, I'm on the treadmill just trying to get my steps in a lot of times before I even start working out. But it makes sense to spread it out throughout the day.
Just daily light movement. I preach it to my clients. I know a morning routine is not ideal for everyone, but like my morning routine started as a 10-minute walk outside. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I just built, and my back, I ditched a back brace all from this morning routine. I mean, it is what it is now. I have a cold plunge. I have 100 things now, but just start somewhere, wake up. I had a morning routine challenge, a free challenge a couple months ago, where you wake up and you do 10 push-ups, 10 squats, 40 jumping jacks. That's it. Tell me how you feel for doing that for a week. You know what I mean? Just hoping some people that participated in the challenge could see like the difference in how they feel rather than just rolling out of bed, turning on the coffee. You got your coffee, you're out the door for work, you're sitting there in traffic probably. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, it's rough on the body. I mean, like you said, I mean, I can't imagine starting my morning now without it, which is a problem sometimes because it has to get done in my mind. But yeah, I daily light movement, key for fat loss. If you don't know where to start at all, if you're extremely overweight, I've worked with people over 300 pounds. Just walk. You don't even have to lift weights yet, but I do recommend everyone lift weights. I mean,
and it's so important to see progress. And people that are that big, if they start implementing anything, it'll fall off, and they'll be able to
get the diet right. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Because I've been there. You've seen a picture of me when I was 260.
Yeah.
Know?
Yeah, look at you now. I mean, it's crazy.
I'm back!
So, yeah, man, like, just my recommendation to anyone doesn't know where to start, walk, drink more water.
How much water do you?
I don't track because I don't have a problem. My wife's got
What do you suggest? Someone just starting at like a gallon, half a gallon?
Yeah. The more water, the better. Just make it a point to drink.
Can OD on water?
Can OD on water.
Okay, good.
Don't drink your calories. That's what I was getting to next too. Don't drink your calories. The sodas, the energy drinks, and don't ruin your coffee either. Coffee can be healthy. Coffee and water while fasting, black coffee and water while fasting is a great fat burning combination. There's nothing wrong if you need creamer in your coffee. I have a whole list of clean creamers. By the way, super creamer makes a great delicious one. I'm a black coffee guy, but
same
grass fed half and half. It's not the end of the world. It'll break your fast. It's not the end of the world. But when you're ruining it with sugar and everything like that, even the artificial stuff, like stevia is really good. Stevia is my favorite artificial sweetener. There's so many studies on stevia. But they make these packet stevias, and there's dextrose in. If you ever see dextrose in the ingredients, it's just another word for sugar. I had a client who simply added that to his coffee for a week or two, and he gained 5 pounds. It was just from that. Everything else was the same. Diet, exercise, everything was the same. We're let's figure out what's going on here. And he cut the stevia out of the coffee, and the weight went right back down.
Crazy. So
everyone's body is different. I'm not saying if you have this packet of stevia, you're going to gain 5 pounds, but that's just an example. You know what I mean? So coffee, don't ruin it. Don't drink your calories, and just move. Just move your body. Drink some water. Like I said, I was going to say my wife has all these water bottles. Drink a reminder. I have a reminder on my watch to drink water. It's just drink the fucking water. Why can't people drink water? It's insane to me, but I understand working with all different people, and people struggle in that area.
Yeah, no, 100%. What are some of the stuff for someone out there just really getting started? You listed a ton of different things, and all of it was really good stuff. But what's the one main thing that someone can do? Get moving, drink water, don't drink your calories. You've pretty much covered all that stuff already. Besides call you, what else could they do?
Well, those are baby steps. Those are go for a 10-minute walk a day. Like I said, stop drinking your calories. Don't add sugar to the coffee. Start tracking. If the next steps are start tracking your calories, write down what you eat, see what you're eating, and also the less processed foods you eat, the better you're gonna feel, and the less shit you're gonna constantly intake. I preach ridding the body of inflammation. I think that's why my back feels better too. All the ingredients. I do dessert reviews every single weekend, so they're all packaged stuff that I'm reviewing.
And I'm not a sweets guy, so they don't really relate. When I say, oh, you say don't do protein bars too?
Protein bars are rough. I used to have a Quest. You're talking to a guy who used to have a Quest bar every single day. Mm-hmm. You ever have a Quest bar?
Yeah, I used to buy them in bulk from Sam's.
Me too. By the way, I go to Costco now. I can't recommend Costco enough.
Yeah, where is Costco?
Warminster.
Okay.
20 minutes, not bad.
Yeah.
From us. They're candy bars. They're just straight candy bars.
Mm-hmm.
And ironically, Quest, when I had one every day, they got bought out by a new company, a big company, and the ingredients got longer on the package.
Never a good thing.
So there's definitely clean protein bars out there. Majority of the clean protein bars out there aren't even protein. There's 10 to 12 grams of protein in it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you can cut out the processed foods, that's a huge one. Even just 80-20. I have it up here on my computer. This is just one post. Aim for 80-20 whole foods. Prioritize protein. So break your fast with a protein. That's another basic step. Eggs, Greek yogurt. Invest in a clean whey protein. Again, check all the ingredients. Like I said, I'm going to preach ingredients. In all your supplements, I was the guy who bought a million supplements, get big at all costs, especially the weight gainer. I can't imagine looking back on all the shit I was consuming, what my blood work looked like. But yeah, protein, and just aim for more whole foods. These are simple things, you know what I mean, that you can do. It doesn't cost a lot of money. You don't have to buy all organic, all grass-fed. I would love to buy all grass-fed meat. It's just not affordable right now.
100%.
If I was rich, that would be my diet, organic, grass-fed. But you don't have to do that to get results and feel good.
All right, let's start to wind this down a little bit. Entrepreneurs generally have a hard time patting ourselves in the back. One thing, tell the world what you're proud of yourself for.
I stopped being a bitch, and I'm on camera now. Like I said before, I was scared to ever do anything like this, to put myself out there. I was doing all this shit behind the scenes, cold showers, everything behind the scenes, you know what I mean? I wasn't helping anyone out. And finally, I grew a pair of balls, and I just put myself out there. And that was in April of last year. I've worked with close to 50 people since April of last year.
That's awesome.
So I I didn't even know what this was when I said I was being I didn't even know what the hell a health coach was. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No.
Now I have like a 12-week program. I have month-to-month coaching. I've done challenges.
And just for everybody out there, it's all virtual. So they don't have to come meet with you. You're not going to be hawking over them in the gym. It's very easy. It's over Zoom, I assume.
Everything's online.
Online, yeah.
So I'm an online health and fitness coach. It's technically called.
Which is easier for most people's schedules. You know?
Correct, because you're going to get your own workouts. You do on your own time. However many days you work out per week, that determines your body split. You get personalized macros. I also wrote an e-cookbook, 58 clean recipes, meal templates in there. I have a website now, ftvfitness.com. Just crazy how all this stuff came together.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I had a client, and her husband was like a software engineer. So she's like, we worked out like the pricing where like to create a website, I'm sure you know it's like $15,000, $20,000 to have the SEO and everything. Like he was beyond helpful. He did the whole thing. I went into it like, oh yeah, like me and my wife can figure this out. Like not a clue. Like I would have my website would have been so shitty it wouldn't have done anything without this guy. So but yeah, that's where I am today. I'm an online health and fitness coach. I'm trying to get out of law enforcement. I'm trying to go full time, help as many people as I can. My social media accounts. I didn't even know how to make a reel when I started.
Mm-hmm.
Literally did not know how to make a reel. Never made a reel in my life on Instagram. FTV Fitness 92 on all social media platforms. Facebook. The max. I didn't even know there was a max friends on Facebook. 5K. I've maxed that out. I've befriended every single person I've had a mutual friend with. So trying to reach as many people as possible. I'm on TikTok, LinkedIn, anywhere, YouTube. YouTube's really tough to grow.
I'm finding that out now.
It's very tough, but just post. Stop caring what people think, and that's the most I'm proud of myself for. You know what I mean? Got over that hump.
That's awesome. One last question.
Yep.
If you could be a superhero, what power would they have?
Yeah, so that was the most difficult question. You know what I mean? I didn't know. Health and fitness, I'm all there. I got you. I came up with just teleportation. Like I said earlier, I'm very impatient. I hate sitting in one spot. I like to be active all the time. Like when I get out of my car, like I'm home, I'm stretching immediately. Like my back's tightening up. I got to move. So teleportation's huge. I'm working on the impatient stuff. But 100%. Hate driving long periods of time. Hate sitting in one spot. I got to be doing shit. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man.
Love it. All right. I was going to say, tell everybody how they can get in touch with you, but you did that. It's beautiful stuff. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, share. I'm sure my man will be sharing this shit all over the world, which is beautiful. You know, we're just trying to help entrepreneurs get their message out there. And I'm sure I'll have him back on for some more stuff. So, thank you. Thanks, brother.
Thanks, bro.